I would not be able to live where I live now if it weren't for Airbnb. It was in 2008 when I was listening to Kim Commando on the radio. She was revealing amazing information about people who could rent out a room in your home while they were on vacation in your area. That sounded like a fantastic way for me to make money while I was living in St. George, Utah. Zion National Park was right there, and I'm sure people would want to come and stay with me. And they did. Look how many years that was. I was living in Utah and now I'm in California and still doing it. Actually, I'd be able to live here if it weren't for Airbnb. So in this video, I'm offering you my experience from all these years in doing Airbnb. Sometimes it's not just earning a little extra money. It's downright being able to pay the bill. There are a lot of things to cover, so let's get going on that list. What's the difference between an Airbnb and an old-fashioned B&B? The difference between an Airbnb and a B&B lies mainly in services provided. A B&B, of course, means that you're going to get breakfast with your bed. Not necessarily in bed. With Airbnb, you will get a bed. You have to check with each individual offering to see what other options you may get with that bed. I booked an Airbnb bed in Leiden in the Netherlands. It happened to be a holiday weekend, so prices were up high. What I got, but didn't know I was getting, was a thin mattress pad in the living room and very close to the front entry door. People were coming in and going out of the living room all night, and the clatter outside went on for way after midnight. But here is the opposite of that experience. It's an entire medieval basement apartment in Riga, Latvia. And you can still book it if you get it the right time when it's available. We thought it was a real unique adventure to stay at this cool place. Before you get too far into the Airbnb process, check all the rules and regulations for your city, county, and state regarding short-term rental. One of the very important things that you need to do first is find out if it's legal in your area. If you're not able to accept people into your home, you can always do the Airbnb experiences or provide a service. I'll tell you more about these later on in the video. Some cities don't allow Airbnb at all, and some just outrule having parties. Some neighbors really complain about the parking and the noise caused by parties. I hear corporate and office parties are the worst. Do your homework to avoid disappointments down the road. The neighbors. Don't get on the wrong side of your neighbors. They probably have the power to shut you down. Some cities require that you survey all the neighbors before you're allowed to set up an Airbnb. Do you even know these people? My children urged me not to do Airbnb, but seeing how successful I've been, 2 of them are making money by doing it themselves. Mama knows best. People question me how I feel about letting strangers into my home. For an insight about this, go to the review section of this guidebook. What would you like to post on Airbnb? What will you be renting? There are more options than you might imagine. You can rent an entire home or just part of a home, maybe a bedroom or bedroom with use of a kitchen. Or they could use the bedroom, kitchen, or common area also. Think creative. Some people have found success by renting a small corner of their backyard with a tent in it. Some hosts don't host at all. They just rent out the camping equipment to be carried away and put up it somewhere else. Airbnb also offers experiences. And now a new category is services. Go to Airbnb.com and see what's available in your area. Apply to Airbnb to provide cooking classes, guide a nature walk in your local mountains. What talent do you have to share and get paid for it too? Where will guests park? Even though parking on your street may be public, please have respect for your neighbors. Your site's description should address parking because potential guests will want to know what their options are. Your Airbnb home is not a hotel. It's a good idea to remind guests that they need to have respect for you, your home, and your neighbors. When I was renting out an entire condo, I put a picture of me and my family in the welcome message. It let people know that a family lived there and that they cared about what people did with their home. I found that people who are new to Airbnb seem to have a hotel attitude for you and your belongings. Would they act the same if they were staying with Aunt Susan? Who will manage your property? Hire a reliable manager to handle the details, or you can do it yourself. For smaller properties, it's not really that bad. How much of a cut does Airbnb get when your place is rented out? Generally, you give up 3% to Airbnb, but the guest pays 12 to 15%. But in addition to that, they also have to pay cleaning and other fees. There will be additional fees and taxes for you to pay. Your city may want a piece of the pie, and don't forget the IRS. They will want to get in there for sure. Become a superhost. Airbnb gives you a lot of nice perks after you've deserved the title of superhost. Find out more about Airbnb superhosting on the link below. Keep your phone close by. Messages will be sent to you via your email and also through the Airbnb app. Respond to them quickly. And Airbnb guests really appreciate a quick response. Also, Airbnb will reward you for responding within 24 hours. Legal questions? First seek advice from Airbnb. Airbnb is as near as your phone. When in doubt, call them for some helpful guidance. Tips about writing your property description on the Airbnb site. Promote your property like a realtor would. Lavishly describe your best features first. Don't forget to check with AI for some great ideas. Keep in mind that people don't want to read a lot, and they may not read it at all. But be sure to put in important things. For instance, if you have a no smoking property. In other words, information that will cover you in case you have damages or other losses. Who's going to clean your home after the guests leave? A little bit about cleaning fees. You can set your own price for cleaning fees, but I keep mine low. Some people charge more than it is to stay in the room. Think carefully about what you want to charge for cleaning. Don't gouge people. Cleaning is extremely important. Guests want to stay in a clean environment. You will get reviewed on how clean your home is, and you should leave it clean if you stay there. But a guest cannot expect to have their cleaning fee returned if they clean it themselves. Calendaring is made easy by Airbnb. They keep good track of when your guests are coming and going. Airbnb shows a separate calendar for each of your rentals. It shows what days are available and the days that you have blocked for personal use. Click on the dates that have been rented and it takes you directly to the information about that guest. Here are some photo tips. My best tip for you is to hire a professional photographer. What feature sells your home? Capture the entire room. Detail shots add interest. Retake blurry or dark photos. Turn on the room lights. Pick the best time of day for each photo. What could be more inviting than a book and an ice-cold drink by the pool? If you can't capture the entire room, catch the best angle. Then turn around and get the other side and take pictures of all the important features. It helps to turn on the lights. Do you have extra amenities in any of the rooms? Make the effort to set up some good food enticers. What are some of the places of interest for people to visit in your area? Get out on a beautiful day and shoot away. Determine your property rules. Make certain your guests have access to these rules before they arrive. Then they can't say, "I didn't know, you didn't tell me." It's your house and your rules. So what about pets? I used to forgive them after they urinated and pooped on my living room carpet. But after one dog with kidney problems urinated through the duvet and down through the mattress, I had to change the rules. Unfortunately, it was really the owner who had the problems. Property damage. Airbnb provides hosts with a $3 million coverage, but they ask you to get any damage caused by guests from the guest first. This includes damage to your property or belongings and for necessary deep cleaning, or you lost income from repairs that are needed from the prior guest, and also damage caused by pets. Make your rules about smoking very clear. This means that smoking is not permitted either inside or outside. Here's some "you better do this" advice. It's very important that you inspect a property after a guest leaves. Otherwise, you won't know who did the damage when you discover it later on. What are inquiries to Airbnb? Prior to actually booking your property, a potential guest can make an inquiry about something they'd like to know. You have 24 hours to respond. They might go ahead and book your property, or they can continue scanning other properties. So who can you turn away? Of course, you cannot discriminate against color or ethnicity. But if you are concerned about your safety, then go ahead and deny that guest. Instant booking. You may set your property to be instantly booked at any time. This means you have limited opportunity to check your guests before they arrive. Check the reviews for your potential guests. If your guest has had previous Airbnb stays, they will most likely show reviews provided by other hosts. Check them carefully to determine whether you want to invite those guests into your home. Take more care to protect larger homes. If you have larger high-end properties, just dig a little deeper to find out more about the potential guests. Communication is very important. The Airbnb app has translation capabilities for the written word. You're on your own for when they arrive at your home, but smartphones have translation capabilities, so take advantage of those. Be safety conscious. Mark entry and exit steps with paint. Be on the lookout for where you can prevent accidents. A lot of accidents happen in the bathroom. Protect that space. Go keyless for your front door. Guests kept losing the keys, so a keyless entry pad makes things a lot easier. Get a smart thermostat. With a smart thermostat, you can change the temperature of your property no matter where you are, even when you're out of the country. You're not there and your guest checks out, just turn off the AC from your phone. What supplies will you provide for your guests? I once booked a darling attic apartment in Marseille. It looked out onto the town square and the marina. Gorgeous. However, they charged extra for bedding and sheets and towels. I was wondering how many people slept there without linen. The thought sounds a little gross to me. How about laundry? Guests usually want to know ahead of time if they can use the washer and dryer. If so, will you be providing the laundry soap? Will you be offering breakfast? I offer do-it-yourself items. If I know they're going to be there for breakfast, I'll put out my delicious homemade granola. Create a welcome book for your guests. Keep it up to date with places to go, how to get there, history of your area, restaurants, menus, and where to shop. Notes can be very useful. For instance, I had to put up a note in the bedroom and bathroom about this being a no-smoking property. They must have not believed me when I put it in the description. My guests are able to use my kitchen, so I put notes on which cabinets to use. Guests appreciate your concern for their comfort. I had to put up this sign after several spills of red wine and black coffee on white duvets and beige-colored carpets. Food can be consumed in the dining area and at the kitchen island. Bottled water and treats or snacks. Guests appreciate being greeted with some water and maybe some mints or chocolate. Check in and check out. You can set your own check-in and check-out times, but most hosts set check-in after 3 p.m. and check out before 11. But I add unless otherwise arranged. Where are guests allowed to go in your home? If you're just renting a private room, there may be some areas that are off limits. Make this clear. Kitchen rules. If your guests are allowed to use the kitchen, make sure it is well stocked with bakeware and other cooking utensils. My niece and her family stayed at a beach house in the summer, and they had to go out and buy cookie sheets, etc., etc. They weren't very happy about the inconvenience. But I have also found that guests helped themselves to olive oil and all kinds of spices or other things I find in my pantry. If your guests are allowed to use the kitchen, tell them how you want it kept. Bedroom information. This is where guests will be spending most of their time. Make it as comfortable as possible. It pays to invest in your guests. They tell me that this mattress topper really makes a comfortable sleep. Upgraded linens are appreciated. Even if you only provide an air mattress, make the room look clean and inviting. Sparkling clean bathrooms. Airbnb wants guests to rate you on having a sparkling clean bathroom or not. So Airbnb will ask your guests, was the bathroom sparkling clean? That's what you want. Swimming pool and patio rules. Because there is no fence around my pool and it is very close to my back door, I do not allow children. No glass and no diving are two very important rules. Thanks for coming along with me on this video. It's been fun sharing with you the years of experience I've had with Airbnb. If you click and subscribe, it'll help me out a lot. I used to be afraid to subscribe to other videos. Then I found out it didn't cost a thing.